Yeah.
Then we're gonna kill a guy.
If you're a Russian on your way to the bathroom and you're American when you leave the bathroom, what are you while you're in the bathroom?
Taking a shit.
European. Thanks for saying taking a shit though and ruining my joke.
Welcome back, everybody, to the third inaugural episode of Scary Itches. Hey, check it out. This is we've been officially we're live on Spotify.
Yes.
What's the other one? Google Music and Stitcher.
Yes.
That's three of the big four. We're still waiting to hear back from Apple, but they got a lot of stuff going on, so we're not worried about it.
Fuck Apple.
And I'm not gonna lie, I've never heard of Stitcher. I hope they don't.
Neither have I. But
Okay.
I've heard of Stitcher Premium because of other podcasts that I listen to, and I'm like, I'm not paying for that shit.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to soon say that you can listen to us wherever you get podcasts. But until then, hit the music.
I think we should also work on just summoning the ghost of Steve Jobs and putting a ghost gun to his head.
Steve Jobs is dead?
You didn't know?
Did you not know
Are you
Steve Jobs
serious?
is dead?
I guess I missed that.
Well,
He was dying of cancer for like 2
Oh
years.
shit! I think I was thinking about the SpongeBob guy, Steven Hildenberg.
Hillenberg, yeah.
Oh, is he dead too?
Yeah.
Yeah, he died.
He
definitely died.
mysteriously died soon after they canceled the show. I don't know.
But he
It sounded
also
like
was
there
a
some
writer
shit.
on Rocko's Modern Life, come to find out, because I was
That's cool.
watching that the other day, and I was
Well,
like, no
between
shit.
maybe him and Rip Torn and Steve
yeah.
Jobs, we're going to have a really interesting Ouija board session if you ever
Yes.
get bored enough to try to do that shit.
And
If you ever get bored enough.
It's a Ouija board.
our asses are gonna get haunted by like a fucking really. It's gonna. I don't know, like a really innovative. Really,
Yeah.
Rip Torn is funny, right? He's a kind of comedian guy.
Yeah.
He was a guy. He was on Men in Black, and I always thought he kind of reminded me of my dad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Because
he's just
he's dead.
Yeah, because he's dead.
Oh God, you guys.
Oh man.
Wait, are
okay.
all of our dads dead?
Yeah,
Our
all dead
biological-
dads.
Mine's not dead. He's just not part of my life. So he's dead to me, man.
Well, I have an adopted dad who is amazing. So, Dad, if you're listening to this, I
Yeah.
love you.
you have a cool dad. I like.
I
Yeah.
do. I
Never-
love my
I-
dad.
yeah.
My biological father. He's dead.
Welcome back to Dadcast.
Yeah, so welcome back to Dead Dadcast.
We air out all of our
Daddy
baggage.
issue dadcast.
Everybody's parents still dead? Yep. Okay, cool.
If your parents
Great
are dead,
podcast.
email us at
Yeah.
My mom is very well alive.
All right, cool.
Must be nice.
Cool. I'm
can't
sorry.
Can't be part of our little sad club.
It's
Sorry.
a weird fucking flex. Thanks, Amanda.
Anyway, you guys, last podcast we talked about how, and this is the funniest story. We talked about the monster, the Whitehall monster. Is that what it was called?
No, that was 2 episodes
Yeah,
ago.
that was two
yes.
episodes ago. It was the Beast of Whitehall.
The Beast of Whitehall. And then last week we talked about the Bigfoot a little bit more, the
Oh.
Big Feet.
That was based on a novel that was written. It's called A Bear Road. It was written by Ryan Gosling.
And it's
Yeah,
not-
Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling. It's actually Brian Gosling, and it was actually his true telling of what had happened to him. It was not a novel.
Well, it's good he didn't lie in it.
Well, and then we talked about the Boggy Creek Monster, which was by,
the fucking great
which they're,
Every time I think of that.
the people who made that movie was Small
Town Monsters.
Small Town Monsters.
Oh, very cool.
And
They're
well,
good
Andrew and I
production
thought we were going to
Oh,
go.
no.
We were going to go see a movie called the Creature of Stark Hills.
I think it was just called Stark Hills.
It was
Stark
just
Hills?
called Stark.
It's-
Okay, and
ST.
some STD.
STD. STARK Hills. Not
So
Stark
for
Hills.
some reason, there was some miscommunication. We thought this movie.
Miscommunication or straight up fucking inflammatory lies.
I don't know why we thought this. Who thought this?
Maybe I
But
can-
somehow we all thought that it was going to be a documentary. Boy,
Boy, us and for us.
Boy, this ain't no documentary.
we thought it was by the same people, the Small Town Monsters, and it was a documentary. Boy, were we wrong.
We were very wrong. I'm gonna pull up the picture right here, but so the little poster that we had that was up in our workplace at the little co-op. It was a poster for the showing, which I can't find right now because we've recently sent a bunch of pictures back and forth.
Well, essentially, it said, "Is big there?" It's right there.
It's Bigfoot in the Adirondacks.
Yeah, is Bigfoot in the Adirondacks?
Yes.
Yeah, it's Bigfoot in the Adirondacks, like Mayor's Cup movie. And then, so on the picture, it says the creature. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. The Creature of Stark Hills is a really spooky looking, like woods scene that's like in black and white.
with the full moon, and it looks like it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yeah.
6, 7 awards.
There's this band, yeah, the little where it's
So-
like the feathers on the side. It looks like it's
Right.
critically acclaimed. Like, what are they all? I can't see. It's bullshit.
And it was like a reel-to-reel film, which was also cool. I was like, wow,
That was
shit,
cool,
this
yeah.
is going to be really cool. And that part of it was cool. That part of it was cool. The rest of it was absolutely not cool.
The medium it came in was the coolest,
coolest
part,
thing about
but
it.
Coolest
not
part.
actually anything to do
So-
with the art piece
No,
itself.
So
I mean-
Liz couldn't make it. So Andrew
Yeah.
and I go. And so we went to go see this movie. We're like, oh shit, this is going to be really cool. Come to find out there's 2 movies playing. Not a big deal. The first one's the one we want to see. And it's
Yeah.
only 30 minutes long.
Roughly,
Okay. So that was, I guess, fine. But then this movie starts playing and we realize it is not a documentary, nor
Nope.
is it a good film at all.
Oh God, it was like it felt like your freshman year, like
Of college.
like your film class project. You know what I mean?
I mean, the filming itself was so bad. The acting was so bad.
No, I don't want to. Maybe somebody really put a lot of effort into it, so I don't want to
doesn't
trash.
matter.
It
No.
doesn't matter. I mean, there are
Drag
people
them.
that put a lot of effort into
Mm-hmm.
artwork that's still garbage.
Yeah, and I would argue that it would have been a lot better had we seen it in better circumstances. So essentially, we have this little venue in our area that's it's like right next to a park. There's a lot of really big open windows. It's the bottom. It's like a commercial space below an apartment complex. It has these giant windows in the front, like the storefront of it, that are just
directly with the setting sun. Like it's
Yes, like, it's perfect. Like-
west facing.
nothing's blocking it.
Yeah.
And it has these giant windows. So there's black curtains, but they can only do so much, you know?
Yeah.
And there's windows on the side. And were they blocked? Were they the side ones? Were they blocked up?
Yeah,
Oh,
they were blocked up, but it was still, sun was still coming in.
still, yeah, it was still really bright in there.
So not only was it hard to pay attention to this god awful film,
Because of it was projected, so like all that sunlight is not good for projection.
but it was during Mayor's Cup, which is a festival that Plattsburgh has every year.
Yeah.
And at that same exact time, there happened to be a very loud jazz band playing.
Like
this
literally next door.
Zesty jazz.
Yeah.
Like jazz and this bad acting. It was hard to follow. There was free food also, which was cool.
Yeah.
I picture like you guys watching it. It's just like, wait, what was that? Don't go out there. Meanwhile, in the back, and he's like,
Oh, that's exactly what it was like.
I was going down.
He was like, no, don't. No, it was the most odd experience I've ever had.
And I feel like that was super loud and extremely distracting. But the sound system that they was using, it sounded like it was like a really small speaker that might have been even built into the projector. It was
could have
really
been.
hard to hear.
I don't know a lot about projectors.
Yeah, it just sounded rough, man.
But there was
Ouch.
also there was food. There were a ton of croissants
croissant.
and also
Not
a
a nice-
ton of those circular cookies that you get in like a plastic pack that have like a fondant
fuck yeah.
circle of
I
frosting.
think those are
Yeah.
the best kind.
I
of
think
fuck
they're
yeah.
the worst.
There's
Oh,
sugar.
fuck
Fuck
those
you.
cookies.
But then I realized that's
You just said sugar cookies are your least favorite.
no, those ones.
Oh, that's weird. Amanda's mic just turned off. I guess we'll have to keep doing the podcast.
You dicks. It's that
Welcome
frosting,
to the
man.
Sugar Cookie Podcast, where all we're gonna do
So-
is talk about sugar cookies and shit on
if
Amanda.
you talk shit about him, fuck you.
I'm gonna shit on you guys.
Bring it on.
Sugar die.
But yeah, it
So
was.
anyway, now they made me choke. So anyway, there was
me
these
choking
cookies.
Amanda.
Oh my god, it was me choking from those dry ass cookies.
Mm-hmm.
So there was croissants, cookies, tons of them. I then realized, motherfuck, this is all the food they give out at the food shelf that expires
Oh.
from Sam's Club.
Yeah,
But they could have also just bought them from Sam's Club. Just want to throw that out there.
maybe.
I'm gonna say maybe it's a
Because you can't
it's a
just
solid
you can't
maybe.
just like walk into the food shelf. It's like, yeah, so why do you need all this? And it's like, oh, I've
It was
got a
probably it
movie
could have been a
premiere.
donation too from Sam's Club of expired stuff.
Maybe.
But side note, and I'm gonna say this word only because they said it in the movie. In the movie, there was a boyfriend girlfriend. They're driving through the woods, and they're getting like a car accident. It's still unclear how that happens, but they go off the road, and he's like arguing with his brother. Maybe that's why they went off the road. But the brother is older, middle aged, obviously, or portraying that he's developmentally delayed.
Yes.
And the brother in the movie keeps calling him a retard.
Yeah. Oh my god. So aggressively.
So aggressively. And then I look around and the rest of the people that are sitting in there,
Oh,
there is a lot of people who were developmentally delayed watching this movie.
So it's like they bring the people from the ARC to like watch this movie, and
the ARC
they're
is
just dropping the R word left and right.
And it's like a room with a bunch of developmentally delayed people. So then it was just fucking awkward.
Oh God.
So was
No,
this?
thanks.
The movie was totally awful. The situation was awkward and weird. So once that shit ended, Andrew and I
We're like,
booked it.
Yeah, once the first showing into the second movie was an hour long, I'm like, I can't do it.
It definitely makes me way happier that I got to work a soul-crushing 4-hour shift at Home Goods
At a
with a
retail
bunch
job.
of 16-year-old coworkers. It's awesome. I'm really glad I missed that experience.
We ran, didn't say a word, I feel like, till we got to the car, and I was like, wow, what the fuck just happened?
That was an assault on our senses.
Were we wrong? And then we're like, we got to go see Liz at Home Goods and tell her this story.
Yeah.
And then we proceeded to say, we've got to tell this story on the podcast because we were so wrong about what the movie was about. I don't know how it got so twisted.
Well, it got twisted because that dude wanted to just lie and have people come to his fucking movie. Like, I didn't even experience this, and I'm pissed for everybody involved because it's just like you clearly.
So it had nothing to do with the Adirondacks, first of all.
Yeah.
Like, you're lucky that it was free because that pissed. I don't know. Like, I still like now that like we're talking about it again, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, this dude straight up fucking lied on a poster about a shitty ass movie, and like I'm glad they didn't charge because if they did charge, I would. I'd have words with him.
I probably would have asked for a refund.
So that was our wonderful experience.
That was a really good, fun time at our local Mayor's Cup. Sorry you couldn't make it, Liz.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm heartbroken. I
should have brought you a
one.
cookie.
And now, before we move on to our terrible tarot card reading, do you guys have anything else spooky that's been happening recently?
I ate a lot of meat earlier.
Oh, the meat sweats. That is scary.
It's always rough when I do that because it was a free barbecue day.
Dude, I need a Sweet County job, man.
Well, the thing is, so the weird part
sit and
about
eat your
these-
BBQs and your potlucks all day.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing though, is like I felt awkward because I didn't really know what they were doing. I went down there to like get the free barbecue food, and there's like fishes and stuff everywhere, and I'm like, this is a weird theme for a county potluck barbecue shit. And then I go back upstairs and I overhear that apparently like the barbecue was because somebody died.
Oh my God.
I don't know if somebody actually died. I don't know why they didn't put that in the initial email inviting everyone to come enjoy the annual barbecue.
Yikes.
So yeah, that was nice and awkward. But yeah, so anyway, I partook in mini free meat.
Well, I'm sure they would have wanted you to partake in the meat.
Yeah, I got some cake. I don't know if it was
it's kind
actually
of like a
somebody
like
died,
a Jewish
though.
funeral. I mean, there's so much food after.
Yeah, well, and you got to get down there early because all those middle-aged women are unbelievably competitive. So as soon as they find out that shit's getting served at 11:30, it doesn't matter if your break's at 1. You get your ass fucking down there because shit's gonna be gone.
Oh my God.
I found a dollar bill yesterday when I was on a walk, and then today I found
a cute story.
I found a dime. I don't know. I keep finding money.
I cleaned a house today and I made $100. Also found a lot of dimes and pennies.
You're probably finding money all over the ground because the spirits know how broke you are. They just want to try to take care
spirits,
of you.
Finally.
So not only did I get paid $100 today for cleaning somebody's apartment, but earlier in the morning I had somebody hack into my bank account. And
speaking of somebody hacking your bank account, the same phone number keeps calling me, and every time I answer, there's nobody.
because you didn't
Block
pay the
it.
bill.
All my bills are paid.
No, you should block those numbers though.
I don't know how on my phone. I know.
You have an Apple phone.
I know.
right?
I'm like a tech guy, and I should know. But anyway.
Well, somebody stole my bank information and they spent $290 on Wayfair shit on the internet. But thank God I have a good bank and this has happened before and I'll get the money back. So it was like I lost some money. I made some money, but I'm still going to get that money back that I lost.
Hell
so
yeah.
really, I'm like totally making out in this situation right now.
And you're gonna invest it back into Scary Itches, right?
I'm going to invest it. No, I'm sorry. It's going in my house fund.
And I too am making money.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh,
Yep.
You're
so-
making money coming up.
Yeah, no, coming up, I will be making some money, and of course, like I said, I have a soul crushing retail job now. I
too.
absolutely hate it. Yeah, but I'm like 33 years old. I feel like you hit an age where
It gets worse.
If you're still folding towels at a certain age,
It hurts
and it's
inside more.
yeah. Luckily, it is my second job, so that's as spooky.
It's
and
just
scary
supplemental
enough.
income.
However, one thing I did want to talk to you guys about is I think I mentioned we have a group chat just so all of us can keep track of all of ourselves.
Yeah, but it's mostly just you two guys talking about boys.
No,
and-
it isn't.
We're just like talking about boys.
There were like
but anyway,
hours I
no.
don't say anything, and I'm like, sorry guys, catching up now.
Yeah. So I mentioned on our group chat that we all talk to each other on just to keep track of like the spoopy biz that I feel like I am entering the chaos stream. I've been noticing more and more the synchronicity. Sorry, I got called out by a listener that I kept saying synchronicity, and I'm like,
Oh, did
bitch,
you?
I say milk and pillow too. Fucking at me.
How do you, what you used a specific vegetable to cast a spell in here.
An onion.
There's no G in it. But anyway.
But I say
Wait, there's
onion.
no G in it?
I say onion only because that's how people in the North Country say, but I actually say onion.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I was about to be like, are you fucking serious?
No, dude,
onion?
I just say onion because that's how people in Northern New York say onion.
I don't
Yeah,
think
but-
I've ever heard anybody say that, but I have
Onion.
heard
I
them
hear
say
it all the time.
hamburg, and I want to punch them in their dicks. So anyway, I feel like I've been hitting into the chaos stream. I'm noticing lately that 333, because I also just turned 33, and 444
is my number.
Yeah, 333 and 444 have been showing up repeatedly over and over and over and over again.
Is that how much you overdrafted?
And so then so 333 and 444 keep showing up over and over and over again. And my brain has been absolutely all over the fucking place, more so than usual. And I looked it up because I was curious. 333 and 444 tend to be the message of higher vibrational beings trying to reach down to send a message and to like prepare, which I think is crazy.
Are you just trying to tell us your vibrator ran out of batteries?
Yeah.
Oh.
I had one, but I don't.
Oh.
I had one, but I threw it away. I got it on discount when I worked at Spencer's Gifts, and
Okay.
it was just, I don't know. I was just like, ew.
Was it one of the rabbit ones that gets you right in the...
Hell fucking, I'm not spending $80 on a vibrator. That's disgusting.
All right.
And people who did, whatever,
I would.
teach their own. I would not. No, this one was like one of those like weird ones. But anyway.
It was like a Motley
So-
Crue themed vibrator. Spencer's.
So what I'm trying to talk about is, so it's like, I was very serious when I like mentioned that I feel like I'm falling into the chaos stream.
Okay.
So all at once, all this shit starts falling out of like my control. Like I'm overspending my time, and you feel like time is simultaneously passing unbelievably quick and super slow at the same time. Since we last had the podcast, I did not realize it's only been a week. I swear to Satan, it feels like it was a month ago that we had the last podcast.
I feel the exact opposite.
Yeah.
I feel like
And
everything
so-
has been going by so fast. I don't know.
I feel like, yeah, it feels like it's been a long time because I feel like
I don't. I feel like it was literally just yesterday we were sitting here.
it's
No,
only been 3 weeks.
Yeah, I swear to God, I feel like it was a month ago that we did the last one. When you guys brought up Stark Hill, I was like, oh fuck yeah, that was weird. And then I realized that happened 2-3 days ago? 3
Yeah.
days ago?
That was
So
Saturday, yeah.
what happened was I was hard focusing to put my will into the universe that I need activity. And this was probably 3 or 4 months ago. So I did a sigil ritual
Okay.
that I wanted more money, I wanted more productivity, and I wanted more art in my life. And I think I accidentally just broke my own universe because now not only do I have 2 jobs, I've been hired to do 3 murals, I am doing 2 podcasts, and I am simultaneously creating my own comic book, and I was doing the Trash Cats comics. And I'm like, this is too much, too fast. But
Too much, too young, too fast.
so I'm just like, oh my fuck. I am like, I'm trying to like reel myself back. I think catching it in time before I started spiraling out of control was like super important, but it is totally nuts when the whole like when your spell catches up to you, I guess is what I'm saying. But I'm
Kinda
getting
like
my first,
You want some money, huh, bitch?
I know, right? It's like, oh, you want money, bitch? Guess what? 5 jobs, no reason.
Like,
Go
God,
for it.
where am I going to sleep?
Yeah. So, but cool news. I'm getting my first deposit on my first big mural
Yeah.
on Saturday. So that's
Hell
going to
yeah.
be sick. However, I'm also working all weekend at Home Goods, and I'm also doing the mural all weekend.
Yikes.
So
Oh
yeah.
man.
I can't wait wait to get on that hot scaffolding in the hot fucking July sun.
And have a wolf spider crawl on you.
Oh, I like spiders though. I'll be like, hey, buddy.
To whatever degree of detail you want to tell us, can you tell us like where were you doing the murals? Like,
I'm doing it down a little ways outside of downtown. It's this cool little building. And it's like a auto detailer and stuff like that. And it's gonna be really cool. I'm excited for it. It's gonna be sacred geometry, which I also think is kind of nuts.
Wow.
And Japanese village, and then the name of the auto detailer that is also sharing the building with the current owner.
oh,
Wow.
all right, very cool.
Yeah. So, you guys ready to talk about some spooky ass shit?
No, we got to do our
Yes.
terrible tarot card reading.
Oh, fuck. I forgot about it last week too, didn't I?
No,
You
no,
did.
it was the devil.
It was the devil.
It was the devil.
the devil.
No, I straight up forgot my tarot cards last
Yes, you
week.
did.
That's what happened. I'm trying to think of anything else crazy happened. Here, Amanda, you get to do it.
Because
Um,
I am also going through a large transition period in my life also, and my brain feels all sorts of fucked. But
I just realized we're gonna have to edit this part out because it's gonna take a minute to like pull the card.
That's fine, yeah.
Like,
There we go.
hey,
Hey, future Andrew. Fuck you.
future Andrew,
Andrew.
it's gonna be okay.
Oh, that's nice. I'm going to save that.
Future Andrew.
That's going to be the final thing I put at the end of the
This
episode.
is your aunt.
Time for a terrible... Oh, everybody shut up. Well, that didn't work. Terrible tarot card reading.
Bow, bow, bow.
We gotta make a sound effect for it. What is the card?
I don't know.
Amanda's showing it to Liz.
All right.
Can I see it? Oh, that looks cool.
So
It
the
looks
Seven
like
of Cups.
that's just that's just a seven of spades.
Good
How'd
thing-
that get in
The
this
Seven
deck?
of Cups.
Oh,
Seven
man.
of Cups.
of Spades.
It's the Ace of Spades. Okay, 7 of Cups, and just remember, this is Amanda's fault.
Oh.
I'm kidding. It's not bad. No, I'm kidding. It is bad.
Oh no. Seven of Cups.
7 of Cups, illusion, deception. The 7 of Cups is not the most welcome card.
Oh no.
That's how people feel about
Um,
me, I feel like.
It indicates you'll face temptation in many aspects of your life. Whether it's cheating for pleasure or for money, you'll soon realize you've been building a house of cards. You may feel as though you can't see clearly. You can't judge right from wrong, up from down. This is the spell of the 7 of Cups. It's best to
Ooh.
remove yourself for a while. Step back until you can see straight again. So, illusion and deception. Maybe because you were about to say that you were kind of losing control of your mind and you were...
I mean, I'm not going to lie. This feels pretty accurate for my life.
Yeah. So you don't want to, and you're somebody who definitely gets super caught up, like, go,
Right.
go, this
Yep.
is happening. This is totally happening. But you get caught up in the idea and more so than like the reality. So you
Right.
got to not let yourself get
And
caught
I'm
up
a
in
very,
that.
like, I have to do it now, right now. I need
Yeah.
to do it or I will lose motivation and I won't do it. So I need answers immediately. I need to do things immediately.
Yeah.
And my mind is going through a lot. I turned 30 in January. So it's a big transition period in my
You
life.
Get on that microphone.
Am I?
There you go.
Yeah, you were off.
You can
Oh,
pull it over.
shit,
You can
I'm
pull it over
sorry.
to you if you need.
It's a big transition period in my life right now. So that card does seem pretty accurate for me personally.
Yeah.
Just because now that I've turned 30, my son's 10 years old, I'm like, shit, man, I need a better job. I need like benefits. I need retirement. I really need to start thinking about these things. We're going to try and buy a house in the next couple of months. So
Yeah.
I feel like my brain is seriously all over the place. So
And that's,
I don't know. That seems right to me.
yeah, it seems good. And that's 30, man. 30, like,
The dirty 30, man, it'll get you every time.
it really, yeah, it
every
got me.
time.
Dirty 30, dude. It that's like the same shit. Like I hit 30 and I was like, okay, well, I guess I can't be a garbage person anymore. Like time to stop
I'm not
living.
really like, I'm definitely not a garbage person.
No, I mean I was.
I'm just, I have a degree. It's time for me to move on and get on that dusty old trail and find something new. Co-op's been cool. It's been great. It's been a wonderful experience.
But
But
time to move on.
it's time to move on.
I got my horses in the back.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Gonna take my horse to the hotel room.
I don't know if we can sing that copyright. I don't know.
Well, as long as it's like under 6 seconds or some shit
And
like that.
that wasn't even the lyrics.
No, it also
so-
wasn't the lyrics. Technically, it was
Parody
a
law.
parody law.
All right, cool.
Bow, bow. Do you feel like Andrew?
Yeah.
Just to try to like get more on top, ick.
Ep topic.
That's more
Ectopic?
ectopic, like an ectopic
Presidency.
Oh my
I
God.
wish our presidency was ep topic.
See, I told you my brain is
Ectopic.
not working, and also I did have like 2 cheeseburgers and fucking like 3 hot dogs earlier.
I had like
damn.
I
8
got
iced coffees and like a quarter of a sub.
So Andrew, since since we last got together, have you been reading or looking into more about like chaos wizardry
magic,
and
yes.
chaos magic?
So far, I've listened to a podcast and a half about it from
Yeah.
the last podcast on the left,
and I will say that's pretty good.
I'd say it's a good primer. I gotta say they like every like it seems like 5 minutes they're like, we don't know shit about this.
Yeah.
They said they studied it for a year, and they're like, even still, we feel like we don't know enough to really
it's
talk
like the
about
Kabbalah, man.
Well, there's a quote from some dude who is a nuclear physicist, and he says, and I put it towards a lot of life anyway, but he says the instant somebody says that they understand quantum physics, they actually do not understand quantum physics. And I
Yeah.
feel like chaos magic, which
It's very
deals in
similar.
fractals, is very similar.
The idea of a fractal is so fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a lot like the Kabbalah. I can't remember exactly what it is, but you're not supposed to start reading the Kabbalah until you're like fucking 35 or some shit.
I don't know what the
because
Kabbalah is.
the Kabbalah is like ancient mystical Judaism.
yeah.
Oh,
But it's like so fucking blow your mind that if you haven't been studying the Torah for like 35 years,
you're
then
like, what the fuck?
well, it could make you go crazy and shit.
What?
Because because the
That's crazy.
that's
How
what
do
they
you
say.
spell Kabbalah?
Kabbalah.
Oh wow, okay. Because I'm
Kabbalah.
thinking like in Spanish, the way you say Kabbalah, the way you say.
I mean, Kabbalah is probably technically right back.
Oh, that could be
I'm from the
Kabbalah.
North Country and say Kabbalah.
Some-
I've always said Kabbalah.
I'm spelling it in my head, and the way you say horse in Spanish is caballo, but
Caballo.
to make the Y sound, it's 2 L's. So when you're saying the Kabbalah, I'm just thinking a female horse
Yeah.
in Spanish.
No,
Well, I'm gonna take her down to what's the old town
the
road.
Old Town
Gonna
Road.
take
Yeah.
it down to the Ho-Town Road.
Ho-town road.
So yeah, the Kabbalah is like, and I don't even know if women are supposed to read the Kabbalah. Probably not, but I could be wrong.
You
Don't
could
quote
be
me
wrong
on
because
that.
I feel like it wasn't it. Is it Kabbalism?
Yeah.
Madonna was into it.
Well,
So if
but I feel
Madonna
like
can do
that's
it.
kind of
Anybody can.
White lady, white lady about it.
I feel like that's a different situation
I don't know. I feel like in
because it has its own following.
I would assume that because so much of it is centered around like the female, that Kabbalism is very much allowed to be women, because I think a lot of old like ancient Judaism is based off of like female shamans, I think. But I could also be pulling that out of my butt, but I'm also sure because I've read a lot of
I mean, I think it
tomes and grimoires.
depends
and-
on
I
who
don't
you
know.
talk to.
Yeah, maybe.
They say if you ask 2 Jews a question, you'll get 3 answers. So there's that.
Well, I only know 2.
Yep.
Amanda and her husband.
And one of us will give you 2 answers, and the other one will give you 1.
All right. Well, I think that was a pretty successful, terrible card reading.
Yeah, I already forgot what it was.
It was the
7 of Cups.
It's just the 7 of Cups. It's literally
Ace of
still
Spades.
right
The
next to me.
The Ace of Spades. Lemmy Kilmeister is coming back. He's speaking to us from beyond the grave. Stay
Yeah.
tuned for more Lemmy. So what's the fucking? Who's doing a story? Which one of you guys?
So I brought a story today.
The lizard.
Liz, the fucking lizards.
the lizard.
Lizard.
Oh my god. The fucking lizards. They're around. They're here. They're listening to us.
That's me with my lizard tongue.
Like-
No, I am not a. I am just a lizard. I am not a lizard person.
Oh, okay. Very different.
No, I'm not nearly rich enough. So
Well, maybe with all the stuff going on.
Nope.
Maybe. You'll get out of the negative after all this is said and done.
Well, I mean, technically,
hooray.
I'm only negative $15 because I pumped
Okay.
my gas with no fucks.
Oh,
I
Okay.
paid my charter bill, and then I was like, I know I'm gonna get overdrafted, but I also need gas.
Really
Fuck
Right.
it. Yeah, and then I forgot that I didn't get paid for like another week and a half.
Oh,
It's
no.
fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's
It's gonna
Everything's
be
fine.
fine.
It's fine.
Why don't you tell us a spooky story? That'll make you feel better.
So this one isn't just so much spooky, so much as mysterious,
Ooh.
maybe
Ooh.
If,
kooky.
Kooky.
If the fucking soundboard worked like I wanted it to, I could add a spooky little, music. Ooh. Yeah, that's just me. Ooh.
Ooh.
These are kind of sounding
Um,
sexual now.
Yeah,
We gotta move
so we're
on.
gonna stop.
Oh.
Moving on.
Oh.
So have you guys? Oh yeah. So Have you guys ever heard of mysterious booms?
I've heard of mysterious boobs.
I don't even know what the fuck that would be.
Seen a
But
couple in my day.
you guys have never seen any newscasts or anything floating across Facebook about mysterious booms that were happening?
Actually, not that long ago. This isn't that mysterious, but there was a giant boom in Plattsburgh not that long ago. But that was just because like a power surge thing blew up.
I do remember that. Jay and I were in the middle of watching Stranger Things, and
no.
we heard a giant boom, and then all the lights browned out, and
no.
then they came back on, and then we just heard,
Fuck that.
and we're like, what the fuck?
So at the time it was strange.
Yeah.
But then like everybody, and then we
yeah.
realized like a Transformers.
hearing that-
So luckily
Not-
for us, in more ways than one, we don't live in the Midwest.
Yes.
Specifically more of like the eastern side of like Midwest, like Virginia, and like Ohio. I'm from
West
Kansas. I'm a very
Virginia.
purist when it comes to middle America.
Okay.
Being how Kansas City is actually the middle of
My little
America.
sister is moving to Illinois.
Yeah, and it pisses me off when people from Chicago are like, "Oh, from the Midwest." I'm like, "Bitch, you are on the East Coast. Like, shut the fuck up." Anyway, I'm gonna dial that anger back for a minute. So, what's been happening? And it's been ramping up, which I think is one of the parts that sort of freaked me out a little bit. So there are these things called mysterious booms. They're also called like skyquakes. But nobody actually knows where these noises are coming from. There's been a shitload of like local news reports going back to like 2017 where they were becoming more and more common.
Locally?
No, this is all happening on the East Coast though. Well, East Coast, Midwest. So we've got like places like Tennessee, Ohio, North Carolina, and a bunch of different counties. What is it? Cranston and Johnson, Rhode Island. And these things are loud enough to shake entire homes.
What?
Wow.
Some of them have been known to crack the foundations and to shatter windows.
Jesus.
And every single time there is a report to the police. And so far, there's no explanation whatsoever. Some people are saying that it could have something to do with fracking. One of the issues that happened, I think it was New Jersey, they said that it could have been a manhole explosion, which first off, I'm sorry, they just like, that sounds horrifying to me. Like if a manhole just like fucking explodes,
What?
then it's just like the fire department just like pulls it off. Like it's like totally, it's fine.
No big deal.
However, there was no evidence that a manhole had exploded. One of the quotes I have here is, "It sounds like something is dropping and something big landed on the ground."
Whoa.
And some of the other ones are saying that they're not quite like thunder, but there's no explanation as to where these noises are coming from. It is not a sonic boom. Though some of these areas are nearby Air Force bases, it is not necessarily clear that it is a sonic boom. And a lot of these people, because they're like Air Force retirees, they're like, no, that's not what a sonic boom does. Some people are reporting that the sonic booms resonate underground and that they're coming upwards above. And they're
Like fucking tremors with giants.
like tremors, but they're just like huge claps in the sky. And there's no exact understanding of the weather patterns that could cause this. There's no understanding of traffic patterns that can cause this.
I'm trying to like initially I'm just like, what if like I don't know, wind is super hot and super cold at the same time and just like boom.
Yeah.
That's how wind is made at least.
Louisiana is another place there that had experienced them. They're saying it has something to do with like strange cannon-like sounds that wake them up in the middle of the night. Residents say the sounds have been going on for weeks and nobody seems to know what is causing them.
So has this been going on over years?
It has been ramping up over a period of people who are documenting all of the cases are saying that it has been ramping up since 2017, and it's happening all throughout the entire world, but particularly in this one section of the United States, it's getting more and more, more and more, like happening more and more. What the fuck? Frequent. There's the word.
This is so bizarre.
So day after day, local news stations around the county or around the country publish reports which show an endless stream of terrifying ground-shaking explosions powerful enough to shake houses. And you can find some of them on YouTube. Super spooky. There's also a YouTuber. I don't particularly stand by any of his other videos. People will drag me for saying this, but he's called Secure Team. He is a conspiracy theorist slash like ufologist on YouTube.
Oh, boy.
He has done quite a few, for the most part, informational videos. However, then he goes kind of down a conspiracy hole, and just the way he talks is just what drives me up a fucking wall. And he reaches a lot, which is also a little unfortunate because, you know, gotta get them clicks. But every time he opens a video, he's just like, "Hey, what's up, you guys?
Oh.
Okay, so this is Ryan." I think his name is Ryan. Or no, his name's Spencer or something like that. But anyway, that's not his fault.
So he sounds like an old, like, comic nerd.
Yeah, exactly. So since 2017, leading up until now, all throughout March and February, it looks like there was a huge, massive amount of these booms reported. A bunch of them were reported to the National Weather Service, and they said that there were no weather conditions that could explain the booms. And it was, all of them are always heard over broad areas. So large neighborhood spanses are what are hearing these, sometimes even almost in an entire county.
Oh my God.
So where it starts to get kind of weird, other than the fact that there's just giant cracks of sound.
As if that wasn't weird enough.
As if it wasn't weird enough. Somebody decided to start mapping where all
Where
of
they're
the
taking
mysterious
place?
booms
Please tell
are
me it's in the
taking
shape of a
place.
pentagram.
I fucking wish. No.
Oh.
If we had a hellmouth, I'd swear to Satan I would become the Slayer in 2 seconds and I would start killing all the baddies. I don't care.
Whoa.
Rip and tear.
Somebody decided to take the map and place it up against another map that has a pretty specific kind of interesting name called the U.S. Inner Earth Access Map from 1978. You can Google that. It is called, once again, the USA Inner Earth Access Map 1978.
All right.
This is a similar map that a guy uses to map mysterious disappearances of people from national forests.
No.
So on this map, a couple people, particularly conspiracy theorists, however, sometimes conspiracy theorists know what the fuck's going on.
It's like disappearances and stuff?
Yeah, so there's a book, an amazing, not amazing, it's just kind of creepy. It's called
Not amazing.
It's called The Missing 411, and you can take this map and you can overlay it where these mysterious booms are happening, where these theoretical like underground bunker and traveling lines are,
Okay.
and it is all matching up.
No way.
However, in one of the areas, looking at the map right now, as it is currently in front of me, there are more, there's a high concentration of these lines, clearly, obviously in Virginia, because you have DC is right there. And it's interesting to me that these mysterious booms are happening in high concentrations within that area. So people think that it could be the building or the construction of more underground bunkers because the quote unquote elites of the world are convinced that World War III is going to occur. Whether World War III will actually occur, I don't know. However, if you got a lot of money to throw around and these people are richer and crazier than we can ever fucking imagine, like they're fucking, oh God, I don't even know if I want to get into this. The fucking, what is it, Richard Spencer? Is that his name?
I don't know.
What the fuck is going on? Oh my God, that name could be completely wrong, so we might need to take care of that. But it just came back out that he's getting arrested again for sex trafficking of young girls. And like Bill Clinton like has flown on his private jet like 27 different times, and every single time a underage woman was also.
Wait, the guy with the island?
Yes, the guy with the island.
Yeah, Epstein. I don't remember his first name.
So John Epstein.
So not Richard Spencer?
No, not Richard Spencer. John Epstein.
John Epstein.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can, yeah. So John Epstein is.
I was trying to Google fact check.
Yeah. So John Epstein is the guy who just recently got rearrested.
Okay.
And because of that, hopefully all of these other sick assholes will fall. Who knows? Probably nothing else happened with the fucking Panama Papers. So, I mean, these people are richer than fucking God. So they could be untouchable or not. But either way, what they do with their money and the actual twisted, sick shit that they are capable doesn't fully make me think that it's not out of the realm of possibility that they could be building underground bunkers.
Yeah, sure.
Another thing that people related to is fracking. There's a lot of fracking that happens down in like Oklahoma.
I forget what that is again. That's
that is where
underground.
you pump a bunch of dirty ass water into the ground and you create gas bubbles within that are trapped within the rocks, like the sediment, and it comes out and you're like basically forcing natural gas out of like cracks in the rocks.
Okay.
And it causes I don't know if they actually like finally said that it is or isn't a thing. But Oklahoma was kind of like, yeah, we're getting earthquakes now because we are literally like destroying the foundation of our state.
Yeah, it's not
Christ.
good. That's
It's
why
not
I
good.
think fracking is illegal in New York.
It's the yeah, I think
Yeah.
they did make it illegal in New York, and it also is the thing that makes your water flammable, which is
Yeah.
like super
Oh my
fun.
god, fuck that.
Yeah. And so speaking of which,
Drink fire water.
yeah. So like taking all of these mysterious booms, taking this hella old map from, well, I shouldn't say hella old, it's 1978. Sometimes I forget that like I'm 30. Like I'm just like some fucking anyway. So taking this map and then taking the maps of people who have been documenting where the mysterious booms are happening and where all the mysterious people or the people have been like disappearing. There's a lot of similarities, which is kind of like weird. I don't want to rule out that maybe it's just because these are highly traversed areas within the United States, but at the same time, it's kind of hard to looking at them to not think that maybe this is something that's kind of fucked up happening. There's also a map of the World Hum map database. You can find that on Google. That's where a bunch of mysterious humming noises can be heard.
I want to find the people that like, is this their job to make the humming map?
This
I-
is absolutely not their
I
job.
feel like that's
Okay,
probably
okay.
a passion project.
Yeah. But the fact of the matter is,
I wish I was as passionate about world humming
yeah,
as they are.
So basically, like what is happening with this though is that these booms they're heavily documented. Nobody knows what is causing them. Scientists, whether like seismologists and weathermen, they cannot actually come up
Whether
with
women,
it
weather
cannot
people.
cannot actually come up with a good enough reasoning as to what is happening. There is weird like meteorological phenomenon, which is when there is a stark cooling or to warming or warming to cooling effect in the sky that can make the sky pop.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. I've actually heard about that.
Yes.
What do you mean by pop?
It,
Visually?
it makes a noise. It's
Yeah.
like somehow the pressure of hot and cold, and I guess hitting at the right moment will just go.
Yeah. And it's just it's crazy. It's like thunder, but there's no clouds. But this particular phenomenon is shaking people's houses. Like it's cracking their foundations, and it is unexplainable. And the other thing is that we can track meteors and fireballs in the sky. Like there was that one that hit Russia and actually like blasted out all the windows on that building in downtown. I was about to say downtown Russia.
Downtown
Russia.
You know, Russia, but like downtown.
It's like downtown Disney.
But it like destroyed a bunch of downtown businesses in some town in Russia.
That sucks, man.
But the thing is, like, we can document for the most part when these things like cross the sky, or like there's some kind of camera that can eventually catch them even during the day, and nothing is getting caught. Like they
What the
can't explain
fuck?
any of
That's
it.
crazy.
So of course people are thinking that it's UFOs.
That's not. I'm sorry. Keep going.
No, go ahead.
That's not my gut reaction, but I want you to get it all out before we start getting out of that, I guess.
So another thing that popped up with all of this fun stuff, and I remember seeing it on I watched this streaming show on Adult Swim called Stupid Morning Bullshit, and it was actually right at the height of when the YouTube series Secure Team was posting about these mysterious booms. Well, in fucking Arkansas, the ground opened up and a giant flaming tower like just spewed out air for like
What?
20 fucking minutes.
What?
You're
Of
shitting me.
lava or just
Just
burning
straight
air?
up burning air
Oh
in
my God.
Arkansas.
What?
It's called the
What
flaming.
the fuck's going on?
I know.
Which actually I think
that how
is
they
where the
talk?
Boggy Creek Monster is from.
Arkansas?
I think so.
Well, that's another thing. So another thing that
Boggy
I wanted
Creek,
to
he
bring up.
just
So
drank a little bit too much. He's
fucking-
burping out fire. Had a little bit too much fireball.
So like fucking like Virginia, Maryland, Arkansas, Ohio, Illinois, Iowa, that like kind of loop right there. That is like
It is in Arkansas.
it is high strangenessville. Like that is where a fuckload of cryptids are. Isn't Mothman?
Mothman is in
Midwest.
West Virginia.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because he's in
so-
Fallout 76.
Yeah, you got the fucking like Appalachia backwoods weird shit going on. I honestly
Well, with all
think
the industrialization, if I was a big feet, I'd fucking go to the. I'd start going
Well,
to the
apparently
center.
they were saying in the Boggy Creek Monster, which I haven't finished yet, but I was trying to finish it up last night. They're saying that because of so much urbanization and industrialization, the Boggy Creek Monster or the Bigfoot or whatever it may be is moving more deeper into the woods.
Yeah.
because it's being pushed into there.
Oh, yeah.
I fucking
So
would.
I
then
wouldn't
you're
want to be
gonna
around humans.
So then you're going to be seeing the Bigfoot, the Boggy Creek, whatever you want to call it, in different regions, may even be over state lines
Yeah.
because it's being pushed more into these not developed regions.
Well, yeah. Well, and that's the thing about a lot of like Appalachia, though, is that it can't really be, it can get logged, but for the most part, it's not going to get very well developed because of the landscape.
Right.
And these areas are, because they are so remote and it is a lot of smaller towns. That's why I don't know. It's like, that's where my skepticism comes in, is like, are all of these crazy ass fucking things happening because there's just a bunch of hillbillies who get bored and decide to start spreading rumors? But my biggest thing against that is I grew up for a while in Lake Placid and I am from Plattsburgh. We don't have any lore. We don't have any there's,
I mean, we have Champy.
but Champy is even kind of like schmeh. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's like what we have.
it's-
Our only thing.
yeah,
Right.
you go over to the West Coast and you go to Washington, there's Bigfoot shit fucking everywhere.
Mhm.
People invest thousands of dollars like to like create Bigfoot tracking societies. In Plattsburgh, we're a small ass town surrounded by a ton of small ass towns, and
Yeah.
we don't have any sort of
In
like weird
the
lore like that.
Adirondacks.
We
I
really
went to-
don't.
I've
I mean,
gone-
I have been doing research and
Oh,
there
shit.
I have found some things.
Ooh, shit.
I was wrong. Sorry.
Nope, that's okay.
The tower was 8 feet high and it burned for 40 minutes.
Still.
God.
They also said, quote, as far as spiritual goes, we're gonna have to rule out Satan for this one.
Oh man. Why?
I don't know. It says
I'm not
officials-
ruling out Satan.
Officials, source of flaming hole still a mystery. However, investigators have ruled out Satan. Maybe they
Oh.
just
That's
said that
always
to be
good.
funny. But yeah, thank God, guys. At least it's not Satan.
But next week I'm going to. There was a local lore I was not aware of.
I was not aware of this either.
Yeah, it's called the Lake Champlain Witch,
Yeah.
which I'm going to talk about next week.
What? Oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
That sounds scary.
Yeah,
I'm excited
I'm
about
going to tell.
this.
And I really love Lake Champlain. I really
Yep.
love the Adirondack region. I love it here. I'm never going to move. So I'm surprised I had never heard this before. But maybe it's because I'm not a, avid boater. It's a legend among.
Mhm.
What?
What's-
On the water?
So-
yes. Yep.
Um,
Amongst boaters, I think specifically of the older generation.
well, let's save that for the podcast
Yes.
next week.
next week.
So
So just to give you a little teaser,
yeah, or we can just reel it back.
we're gonna reel it back.
and shit. Where were we talking about before we? Oh, the lore.
Yeah.
And then I talked about the flaming,
And we
Thing.
don't have anything here aside from Champion. Apparently,
flaming,
this witch.
flaming
Yep,
hole.
The flaming
the
hole.
Lake Champlain Witch, which is coming up next week.
It's now known as China Cafe.
Yeah, I just don't want to give like too much away for next week.
Mhm. I've gone to New Mexico just once to visit
The
family.
land
a
of
long time ago.
enchantment.
Yeah, and I know it's a lot of just like commercialization, but they have alien shit
Everywhere.
It's because of Roswell, and
Yeah.
I drove
Yeah.
through with my husband.
We didn't
and
even go to Roswell.
Yeah,
weren't
we
even
didn't.
near
We
it.
didn't go to Roswell either. I mean,
Yeah.
we drove through
Oh, we might have. I don't remember.
Nevada,
So
California.
And they just have alien
Um,
shit.
Yeah, I mean,
shitload of alien
yeah, the
shit.
closer you get to New Mexico, like the more alien shit. But there is some weird shit out there in the desert, man.
It
It is a
is.
Oh, fuck
weird
that.
feeling. We went
Well,
to some sand dunes.
and
That was weird.
Yeah, and looking at this map, the desert is very highly, there's like a huge concentration right in like Southern California, all over New Mexico and Nevada.
Yeah, which are
And
hot
going
spots for
straight-
UFO.
Huge. And
sightings.
so what that's what made me think is like, so Plattsburgh doesn't have anything. Like the North Country doesn't really have a whole lot of mystery to it. There's like little blips and boops here and there, but I wouldn't say that we are known for lore, right?
No.
But you go down to like fucking Appalachia, like Iron, Rust Belt, whatever the fuck areas, and they have so much crazy ass shit. They've got fucking goblins. They've got fucking Kubachabra. They've got fucking
All
Bigfoots.
we have is the
They got-
kombucha cabra.
kombucha
Yeah,
Chupacabra.
so and that's what made me kind of start to realize, I'm like, okay, so clearly small rural areas can exist without a whole lot of like hyperbolized mythology. So what exactly is it in these areas that is causing this like craziness within like these small areas? Well, one creepy ass fucking theory, not creepy, it's incredible to me, is that they think it has to do with interdimensional shifts.
What?
So
Why did and what focuses them there?
in Ohio and those
Yeah.
areas. Well, because there's already so much weird ass fucking shit happening here. There's high concentration of UFO sightings. There's like high Bigfoot sightings. There's just a lot of the unexplained phenomenon, aka explosions in the sky.
Yeah. Giant fire coming out.
Yeah.
Which is not Satan.
Just a bunch of like fucking ambient reverbed out guitar band just hanging out. I'm kidding. That was an explosions in the sky reference. So basically what I was reading about these dimensional shifts, and in a lot in Bigfoot lore, they mention about how Bigfoot could be a representation of higher dimensional beings. And these things are happening when our universe is shifting into a different universe, and there's like a cross, and that's where you see like our dimensions crossing over. That could be another explanation, like for ghosts, another explanation of what UFOs are, or maybe they're not aliens, maybe they're beings from other dimensions using technology to check out other dimensions, because wormholes could exist. Anyway. So the popping and explosive noises could be things, basically dimensions, kind of static electricity rubbing up against each other.
Shit.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of crazy.
Wow.
But would also explain if our dimension is like Swiss cheese in these areas, that would also explain the
How all this
missing
other
people.
shit's coming through.
Yeah,
Taking
and there
it back.
are a couple areas in our area, in like northern New York, which would also, maybe that's how that dude who was hiking on Whiteface just suddenly poofed and
Yes,
got farted
that
out
story
over
is
in
so
fucking
crazy.
California.
Oh, that is crazy. Yeah.
Did you ever hear that
Um,
story?
Wasn't it over 2 days?
Yeah, no, it was over a period of a little bit longer than that. He said that the last thing he remembered was getting inside of a semi truck. He doesn't know why, but I don't remember where he was in the
It's
semi truck. If it was in
fucking-
California somewhere.
It's like hard to get
But
from
yeah.
New York to California.
You don't just do it casually. But
Yeah.
the creepiest part to me was that he wound up in California. Well, creepiest part, other than the fact that it has just been completely erased from news outlets.
Yeah, I feel like we
Nobody's-
heard about it only
Yeah.
a little bit and then not
It was like,
again.
well, we found him. Kind of weird that he's wearing the exact same clothes and his fucking goggles and his ski boots that he was wearing when he just fucking vanished.
That would ruin my
And then
entire life.
he just
Out of the
popped
Adirondac
up in
Mountains.
California, and he was like confused, realized he needed to find a phone and call his wife.
You know,
Like,
if I
the fuck?
if I experienced that, I don't know about you guys, but that would say I would become obsessed with what the fuck
oh,
happened to me.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I would
Totally.
I would
Absolutely.
obsess over like any sort of. I'd be grasping at all the straws.
Oh,
trying
absolutely.
to explain what happened to me for the rest of my life.
I'm
I'd
not
go
gonna lie, I
insane.
do kind of really want it to happen to me.
It is. Yeah.
Just because I can finally be like, okay, weird shit does happen, but also
think-
maybe this is why weird shit happens.
I used to
me.
get blackout drunk sometimes, and that was enough. I mean, like,
How
you
did
don't
I
know.
get here?
Yeah, how did I
Just
get
the
to
I
this
really-
fuck?
yeah. I like drinking, but then I'm like, I don't like not being 100% in control.
I mean, that's only happened to me like 3 times.
But
Takes
so,
a lot.
So like this is something that I just find like super super interesting. I think the mysterious booms are super crazy. I don't know, man. I
Those
hear
alien bass drops.
yeah, just alien. Yeah, it's just a fucking dead
They're
mouse.
so powerful.
Alien dead mouse. I do hear weird shit at night quite frequently on certain nights. If I'm sitting, I think I talked about this on Trashcast once. If I'm sitting on my porch,
don't say that name here.
If I'm sitting on my porch and I am looking down, I think it's like Welt Street or something. I hear this low rumbling, and it doesn't happen every single night. It's only certain nights, and I don't know if there's a pattern yet because every time.
Are you sure it's not Taco Tuesday?
Hilarious.
Your stomach is making a weird noise.
No. It's this weird like.
Yeah, that's not Taco Tuesday.
And it takes up like it sounds like there is a plane constantly getting ready to take off like 4 miles away from me. And I realized though I'm not facing the airport. The airport is different direction. Right. I'm not going to try to figure out what one right now. But I just think it's very, very strange that I keep hearing these like crazy ass like rumbly noises. And because I don't know what they are. There's obviously some kind of explanation because nothing fun will happen that way to me. But I don't know what I would do if I heard a giant explosion in all of like I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like that's so we're talking about two things at once here. That obsession and kind of desire for something paranormal, to experience something paranormal, is something that's probably shared by all three of us and anybody listening to this, because it's like I just want to know so bad that I just almost wish something horrible would happen to me. I just want to believe.
I have that poster in my room.
Yeah.
I want to believe. I did have an experience like that once, but it went nowhere. I was walking outside. I live right in the heart of our downtown area. I went outside and I heard this really fucking crazy noise. Oh no, I was walking down the street. I think I was going home from, I don't know, a friend's house. It was really late at night. I'm like, what the? I was Snapchatting. I'm like, what the fuck is that noise? And I'm just looking around and I'm hearing it.
Yeah.
And then like, it was just a helicopter going by.
But that noise, Liz, also could be, I mean, drones are really popular.
Oh no, it's no drone.
That's no drone.
No, it's loud. It's like you are like when it's happening. It's like
I'm just trying to think of every possible.
Yeah, no, it's not a drone. It's almost as if there is a massive industrial size like jet engine like in my neighbor's backyard. Like that's what it sounds like. It's just like I don't know. I can't really describe it, but it's
a way to
low, it's deep, and it's like immersive.
Maybe there is a way, like an explanation for that.
Yeah, like I'm thinking like maybe something to do with wind, humidity, and then like traveling of like plane noises from the airport, wherever the fuck it could be.
I'm sure two things come to mind. I'm sure there's like this loudness floor that's just automatically generated by having to sustain a city.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
There's got to be like the lamps are making a little bit of ambient noise, everything, even the crickets and all that together.
Like some sort of
phenomenon.
Yeah, the sum of that.
Right.
And then what also comes to mind,
phenomenon.
if I'm trying to give it a like a logical explanation, you know how like sometimes there's like where you can stand in one place and you hear something behind you on the left, but it's actually coming from like directly in front of you.
Yeah,
maybe on a bigger scale, the sum of all those things together, maybe somehow it's focused onto that area that you're looking into.
Yeah,
or it's some scary underground shit. I don't know.
Or it's ghosts,
big fucking scary ass ghosts,
just big old giant fucking ghosts,
just under the ground, just trying to come out.
Weird side note
Satan.
that you were talking about aliens, and this is like kind of off topic, but also kind of on topic. I don't know. So PJ was telling me, my husband, he really loves space, is very fascinated by space and people being out and
No, I think he just wants you to give him some space.
No.
Yeah, I think he's dropping.
You're grossly.
he's more clingy than I am, which is fine. But anyway, so he's talking.
He's here right now, attached to your leg.
PJ, we like now that she said it, we'll have to ask you to come out of the background.
Yeah, he'll be on. We like PJ.
Yeah, PJ is great. So he was talking to Riley about space because my son is also very fascinated with space, and they get like off on tangents talking about it. And PJ's like, if you stay out in space too long, like weird shit will start to happen to your body. And I'm like, oh, really? Like what? And apparently, and I'm going to totally butcher how he said this, but scientifically, if you're out in space too long, and this is like over spans of years, I think, like your body will start to change and your head will get larger because it will fill with extra fluid.
Oh, why?
And also, I can't really remember. I think I was driving, so I was hearing bits and pieces of it. And he's like, yeah, your head will get bigger and filled with fluid because of something in space, and like your eyes would get bigger, and like something about your fingers would get longer, and your
body.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because your joints would be elongated.
The weight-
Yeah,
weightlessness.
something
Yeah.
like you would become taller and thinner, and your fingers would be longer, and you'd have a longer head and like bigger eyes. And I'm listening to this, and I'm like, wow, that's fucking weird.
Sounds like the Greys.
Right. And
Yeah.
that's exactly my point.
Yeah.
Is the way people have explained what aliens look like, your quintessential, like, weird round alien head with two big eyes and really long fingers and really long limbs.
But
like,
no musculature and
Almond
just kinda-
shaped
no,
eyes.
not
Yeah.
really. Yeah, and like almond shaped eyes. He's explaining this to me. I'm like, well, PJ, isn't that what aliens look like?
Yeah.
And he was like, yes, exactly.
That's
and I was
interesting,
like,
'cause
wow, so that's what would happen. That's what would actually happen to a human body out in
Yeah.
space.
I feel like the folklore of like what grays look like probably has existed longer than the science for us to understand.
Exactly. And that was going to be
Like,
like my
that's-
ending
I'm-
point was that
Oh my god. Wait, I just thought of something.
We're cracking the code.
So do you know about how in ancient alien
Oh, jeez.
yes, it's
So
aliens.
in Mayan architecture and artwork, there is that one really famous one where the guy is sitting in a chair and it looks like he's on a rocket ship and he's about to take off.
And
And then there's the Nazca. Is it Nazca lines?
Yeah.
See if I can pull it up while we're talking.
Where it looks like they are sending communications like up to space travelers. What if we invented some crazy ass ancient technology that sent us up into space? And then they got stuck there because they were like, fuck, we don't know how to get back down. There's a thing called the Dark Knight or the Black Knight that just kind of...
Oh, Batman?
No, that just kind of orbits around the North Pole. It is a vessel or some kind that is just floating there out in space right now. We don't know what it is. Hey, there it is.
Is this what you're talking about?
The Mayan spaceship.
I
If you
can't
just wanna
fucking see
do
that at
a
all. Can you-
Google image. I would go into detail, but I also really don't want to describe a picture on a podcast.
All right.
But if you want, Google the Mayan spaceship. It is fucking insane. But anyway, so what if we had this ancient technology, shot a bunch of people up into space, and they're like, oh, fuck, we can't get them down.
Whoa.
And then they were up there for a really long time, finally figured out how to come back down, and then they looked like the Greys that crashed in Roswell were actually ancient humans who came back to Earth to try to make contact again.
Oh, shit. Somebody's at the door. Guys, we got to stop the podcast. We know too much.
That's something that I
It's
could
the
get
smoking
into.
man.
Is eventually the Men in Black. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, but
Oh,
I
yeah,
just thought
they're
that was really bizarre. Like, that's what would happen to a human body if you're out in space too long.
Yep.
But before I feel like scientists knew that's what would happen,
Yeah.
people were describing what aliens looked like,
Yeah.
and that's what would happen to a person out in space.
It's
So
interesting.
that's fucking weird.
Yeah, no, that's
So I was like, wow, PJ, that's fucking weird.
Oh, okay, and there's no sun exposure. That's why their skin doesn't have
yeah,
any
maybe
sort
they
of...
get all.
So they're probably
pale
not
and
gray, but they appear gray because maybe
Yeah.
they're more
And I'm not
translucent.
too sure
Well-
about like the skin color. I just know like he was talking about what would happen to the like bone structure in your head and your eyes. And,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I was like, wait a tick.
Yeah,
That's
so-
a damn alien.
Yeah, and I mean, well, and the gray skin and all of that too. They're not necessarily like throughout a lot of like reports. They will have like pale skin. Some of them have like flesh toned skin, or I shouldn't say flesh tone. That's
That's a-
unbelievably racist. But they'll have like pale beige skin.
Just one
Yeah, like
unbelievably racist thing.
yeah.
At least
well,
you
'cause
caught
there's-
it and you owned up to your mistake.
I did. Well, you got to do that. It's called growing. It's called getting woke. But yeah, see, like sometimes they're beige, sometimes they're gray, sometimes they're green, sometimes it's little
Oh.
green men.
I'm pulling up pictures. They're fucking scary.
Yeah, but so these are the grays, and this is another weird thing about like the aliens, and I think maybe we should like reel it in a little bit because I do want to talk about this at some point, but. The grays are a huge part of the human archetype, which I think is a representation of something deeper within the subconscious. Because grays are seen fucking everywhere, and it doesn't make a ton of sense.
That,
so
Not to get too drastic. Oh, they're so scary. I'm just looking at random pictures. There was that.
I think they're cute.
There was a Tumblr post a while ago that was talking about. Oh God, I'm gonna butcher this. I should have looked it up before talking about it. But there is that concept of this common fear that humans just have
Yeah.
that we don't really, it's unrealistic. It's usually the Tumblr post I'm remembering. It was a picture of, what's the D. Antwoord girl's name?
Oh,
Diane
Diane
Wood?
Wood.
Yeah, what are they called?
I don't know.
Yolandi.
Oh, Yolanda Vassar,
Yeah.
or whatever. She, it's when she has the blacked out eyes.
Yeah.
She has pointed ears. She's painted white and the scary teeth, I think.
Yeah.
And like that's horrifying, but like every human finds that horrifying. And there's things like that we like. And
I don't
like
find
that we.
it horrifying. I really like her.
There, I guess the concept was
Clowns.
Oh, maybe it's kind of
Clowns
like
are
that.
natural.
more
Okay.
so just like the blacked out eyes, where they don't
No,
have
yeah.
any human or like they have non-human features.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I don't know. Maybe there's that's something maybe we should look into at some point.
Yeah, I'd be into it. But yeah, so the mysterious booms, the idea of what could be going on interdimensionally, and then tying it all into kind of like my overarching idea of like why I'm into cryptids, why I'm into all this like weird ass like paranormal shit is because scientifically I do feel like there is something very seriously different happening within like our universe. I think these unexplained things can be like almost like alien Momo.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I just feel like there can be explanations, and I'm super excited to delve deeper into this again, because I haven't been able to get super into like conspiracies and aliens and ghosts in a really long time. There is a scientist who created a ghost. I want to talk about that. I know. I see your
I'm
face.
looking at you like, what the fuck are you saying?
Yerp. They created a ghost, or they created the frequencies that they think causes the phenomena that explains ghost activity.
Wow.
So I thought that was really cool. But yeah, man, like fucking mysterious booms, fucking flaming towers just bursting out of the fucking ground. Like whether or not it's fracking or something, like there's something else going on in these areas. Cause like Japan, Iraq, there's all these other, it was just Elon Musk, all these other places that are reporting mysterious booms. Seems to only be in those areas. It's only concentrated in specific areas. It's not like kind of all over the place.
My gut reaction for the booms is some sort of experimental weapon.
That's what a
my
lot of
first
people say.
pull, because that seems most realistic.
Yeah.
Quote unquote realistic. So I don't know. Maybe some sort of government
I'm
like
not sure how I feel about that.
physics blast, air blast. Because there's totally those stories of people that hear this noise that they can't explain that slowly turns them insane.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
I've heard about
usually
that.
Yeah, I have heard about that.
Where it's like
Um,
sound weapon. Whatever it's
Yeah,
called.
it's
Yeah.
like the sonic weapon. They
Yeah,
say
sonic
that
weapon.
that's one of the reasons why. What was it? Cuba? Where was it that they
Yeah.
took all of the American people out because they all got sick and were
Yeah.
experiencing hallucinations
Like
and they
50
couldn't
people, I
understand.
think.
Yeah,
That's what
and
we're talking about the
that's
same
not
story.
suddenly in the news anymore, which is super
Yeah.
crazy. But yeah, so that was that's what I wanted to bring to the table. If you guys are interested in looking into it, definitely Google mysterious booms. I don't recommend watching Secure Team on YouTube, but I also kind of do because it's hilarious.
That's like I also don't recommend watching The Creature of Stark Hills, but also it was so bad.
It was only
that-
half an hour.
Yeah,
You know what I
and it
mean?
was, and it is on Amazon Prime. We already looked. I mean, you can purchase it. I can't
Yeah.
remember if it's free, but it's so bad that it's almost good. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I'm still not at all upset that I missed that experience.
Oh, but if you want to check it out, you could maybe from far away.
Check out
So,
Stark Hills.
Check out Stark Hills, but don't. Actually, do check out Creature of Boggy Creek.
The Boggy Creek Monster.
The Boggy Creek
Boggy
Monster
Boy.
and the Creature of or the Beasts of Whitehall.
Yeah.
Anything by Small Town Creatures, honest, or Small Town Creatures, Small Town Monsters production company.
Wow,
is
we're
really good.
all messed up today.
Yeah. Do you guys want to take a break? I'm
Yeah.
getting the meat
And
sweats
then we
again.
can do the listener story.
Stay tuned for our listener submitted story.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ah.
So this week we have a great listener story from me and Liz. This is a mutual friend of ours. Her name is Penny. So Penny sent us a story. So thanks, Penny. Shout out to Penny.
Thanks, Penny.
Thank you, Penny.
So also her boyfriend Jimmy just had a colonoscopy for the first time. And they documented the entire thing starting from the night before with him drinking all
the
of this
precursor liquid or
yes.
whatever?
So it was like they had a whole album of his colonoscopy. I think it was like
Ew.
Poop Journey.
They
They take
documented him shitting constantly.
Yep.
No.
Like, well, pretty much without showing him shitting.
Yeah.
They didn't show that part?
No, but it
okay.
was just like, pictures and videos of him drinking the stuff he had to drink. And he was like, I'm on the shitter for the 5th time. He's like, it's really coming out now. And the whole next day there was photos. She did a live feed of him in the hospital, not during the procedure, but before and after.
Oh my
and then
God.
later on that night, she was like the post colonoscopy feast. And they were eating like all this fucking pizza and shit. But anyway, that was one of the most hilarious things I've seen in a really long time. But
I wish that was her scary story.
that's not, I mean, that.
Hey, shit out of gold.
Woo. But so Penny sent me a really great story. So it says, my boyfriend Jimmy and I were at Valcour Island, which is a local island, which has a deep history with it also of death and war. But there is some spooky shit that has happened there. So it says, my boyfriend Jimmy and I were at Valcour Island. It was September of 2016, Labor Day weekend. And Labor Day weekend was just wrapping up. It was a Monday, and all of the previous campers had left from the weekend. After a long stroll through the paths on the island, we realized we were alone and had the whole place to ourselves. Score, that would be cool. We started a fire, enjoyed our alone time, cooked some dogs, had some laughs, even went out in the woods with our flashlights for some extra wood to burn. All was well. Around 1:30 a.m., we finally called it a night. We got into our tent and settled in. As soon as we were closing our eyes, we heard crunching of twigs and leaves sporadically around the tent and surrounding areas. We didn't understand how this could be, as there were no campers around. Jimmy popped up and opened the tent and looked around outside and didn't see anything, and didn't hear anything. He zipped the tent back up, and the noises immediately started again. At this point, I knew exactly what was happening, as the air felt thick and I was completely paralyzed from fear, with my
God.
teeth literally chattering.
Oh my gosh.
He checks outside a few more times, this time examining the perimeter of the tent and surrounding area. No woodland creatures. Of course, we knew from the noises it couldn't have been just a squirrel. Baffled, scared, but somehow well composed, Jimmy joins my petrified, sorry ass. The crunching of ground persisted again and more frequently. Then suddenly, we saw an indentation going down the side of the tent.
No!
Just as if a hand was running down the side.
Oh my God. Fuck that. Absolutely no. Fuck that. Straight to hell. Fuck no.
So it follows its way all the way to the bottom, and the rain cover that hooks the ground unclamped. The rain cover lifted up slowly and all the way up, and
Oh my
gently
God.
got placed back down.
Nope. How? Oh my God. No.
It was as if this thing was checking in on us. There also was zero wind, I may add. At this point, I'm almost in cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
Jimmy said, let's get out of here. Fuck this. We will get the rest of our stuff in the morning. We grabbed just a few things and canoed back to the boat launch.
In the middle of dead ass
Yep.
night.
It took a record time of maybe 10 minutes. They were hauling ass.
Oh my God.
And even though the lake was still as can be, it was also pitch dark out. So Jimmy had to hold a 3-pound flashlight in his mouth as we are both rowing. We didn't even mention the word ghost this whole time until we finally landed at the dock. We looked at each other in fear, as well as relief, and said, yeah, we just totally got haunted.
Oh my God. No.
Jesus Christ. So it lifted up the lock to the tent is what it was?
It was, when you have a tent, okay, you put the tent up, and then there's always that piece that goes over the tent that hooks to the ground. So if it rains, rain will fall off of the top of the tent and it won't go inside of the tent. So usually the top of the tent will be like a mesh.
Yeah.
So if it's hot, you take that part off, and then that way you can see the sky. You get more ventilation. It's like not as hot. Usually I have that off if it's not raining. But usually, I mean, some people leave it on because you don't want weirdos looking in your tent while you're sleeping.
Yeah.
Like just peeping over.
Yeah.
So that thing is hooked to the ground, usually in 4 different places, and you just easily just unhook it. So
Ugh.
something unhooked it.
And they just were watching it watch them or whatever.
Yeah, that is so ooky spooky. No, thank you. I would have been having an absolute.
That is
bitch
like
fit.
I'm sorry, I've brought up the Blair Witch a couple times, but this is going to be so lame. And I don't even care. Blair Witch is my favorite movie of all time. And that is like a total Blair Witch move.
Yeah.
Like definitely happened where they were like, fuck this. People are like touching their tent and shit.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, let's get out of here. They don't even grab their shit. They just like grab their
Get the
camcorders
fuck
and
out of
fucking
there.
book it.
Yeah.
And they had nowhere to go because they're lost in the woods. So they just like ran, not really knowing where
Wherever.
they're going until
Yeah.
daylight, and then went back to the tent.
Oh my god, that makes me
Shit.
want to go and camp there so fucking bad. We
I've
need to.
never camped there. I've never been there.
I've never even set foot on it. We need to go.
I feel like in that kind of situation, I hit this like what's like this zenith of of like immense fear that when I get scared enough, I become extremely courageous.
Yeah.
And my
I
survival-
do
my-
not.
I'm
I just like shut down.
like I feel like I'd be watching that to the point where it hit me too much, and then I'd just say "fuck this."
Yeah, you
I
just-
would rip the tent off, off the ground.
It's like the Hulk, but the tent.
I don't
You're
care.
just
I would,
ripping the
like,
tent apart.
I would get this blind rage that's fueled by immense fear, and
Yeah.
I would become invincible.
That's called adrenaline.
Yeah.
I
I just
would fully be the same
I just
way.
shut down.
Well, then Andrew and I will protect you, and we'll fight the ghost.
Yeah.
Andrew's the one that's the most easily scared, but
Yeah.
apparently
But he
Also very handy
gets like
to
a,
around.
he gets like a runner's high.
Yeah, I definitely do.
I do not. I'm one of those people that will talk a lot of talk, but in that situation, my bitch ass is shutting down.
I will talk about how my bitch ass deals with that situation at a later episode, but
You think about killing people a lot.
I do think about killing
Oh
people.
God.
So anyway, thanks for joining
No,
us,
I
you
got one
guys.
more thing.
No, I just thought it'd be funny to end on that.
I was editing an episode one night, and I had these two windows open in this room, and I was in my bedroom, which is just one door away. It's very pretty thin walls, and I kept hearing something fucking around in this room from my bedroom, and I kept coming in here looking. I didn't see anything. I was like, what the fuck? It didn't help that I was editing one of our fucking episodes.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So I kept just ignoring it. I'm like, whatever. There's a busy street outside, even though it's late at night. I hear weird shit all the time. I didn't have any other ambient noise aside from the podcast, and I was just like, just trying to like focus on the podcast, but I kept hearing just something like and I'd pause it, and I'm like, was it just in the podcast? Did I miss something? And I was like, what the fuck is this? And eventually I was like, fuck this. I'm not scared. And I grabbed my very manly BB gun, and I came in here and I just looked around. And
Which, for
I
the
didn't have it
record,
pointed.
looks like a Glock.
It looks like a dead ass real gun. Yeah.
But it's
Has that orange tip?
yeah, no, it doesn't.
Oh
no, it doesn't. No.
Yeah, okay.
And I was like,
could have
what?
sworn I saw it before.
And I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna figure out whatever's giving me the spooks. I had the windows open and the wind was blowing just gently enough that it would hit my blinds, and they just slap back on the window. And that's the noise
Oh,
that was
man.
You were gonna shoot your window.
I was gonna blast my window to hell. I didn't even care.
Oh goodness.
My mom told me actually somebody got murdered in this building.
What? Are you fucking with me?
I'm fucking with you.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm totally like absolutely
I'm
fucking
like, I'd be
with you.
really scared about it, but then I'd
You'd be
kill
like,
them back.
I gotta move.
I'm like, no, I don't want to move yet. Maybe. Okay, that's good. Good episode. Good time. Spooky story. That was probably the scariest user story so far.
That is a terrifying
good
story.
one.
And I'm going camping in a couple weeks. My
Ooh.
sister's coming next week, so Ashley will be on the show. Woohoo!
Hooray.
And then the week after that, I'm going
I wonder
camping.
what that's gonna be like.
It's gonna be fucking weird. Also, we start to like kind of lose our shit a little bit because once she starts laughing, then I start laughing. So it might be kind of weird. So bear with us,
It's
people,
gonna be a
because
nice, hot mess of an episode.
it
I'm
is gonna be
excited.
it is gonna be just a tiny bit of a hot dumpster mess
Gee, I can't wait.
in a funnest way possible.
in the most fun way possible. Yep.
All right.
Also, the mic might sound weird because you guys are gonna share one.
But anyways, yeah, that's gonna be weird too. So sorry about that. Sorry about all the laughing in the future, because that's gonna be really like one of the That's gonna be weird.
All right. Well,
Oh, and I was gonna say, I'm sorry about that.
You're so polite.
The week, so Ashley's coming next week, and then the week after that, I'm going camping. So
Ooh.
PJ and I and Riley, our son, are going camping. So
Nice knowing you.
hopefully that shit don't happen to me.
Yeah.
Because I would be so fucking, I would piss my pants so fast.
Have PJ bring one of those muskets to defend you.
There you
Dude,
go.
yeah. I'll have to tell you about our story of the wandering Jew one time
Ooh.
when we took in this Orthodox Jewish man because he had nowhere else to go for the night.
It's so scary
And
already.
it turned very badly.
Oh my God.
And we had to lock the door. He loaded the musket. And I was like, PJ, you can't even shoot that. You don't have any musket balls. He's like, yeah, but once
you can put anything in there.
well,
right?
and during reenactments, he uses just like blanks. And he's like, well, even if I fire this fucker off, it'll scare the shit out of him. I was like, yeah, you're totally right.
Absolutely.
But we were so like scared this dude was going to come back. We locked the door. There was like a string around it tied to a chair. The chair was propped underneath the door. PJ had the gun next to the bed. We both had to open the next day at the co-op.
Jesus.
But he didn't come back, but I was still really worried about it for a long time.
Damn.
Great.
But we survived.
Awesome. So,
Well,
fuck, man. Crazy
that's some shit.
That was some shit.
All right. Well, thanks again for listening to our episode, guys. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, watch our YouTube video.
Please do.
That was super loud. I apologize. And if you have a scary itch you want us to scratch, please send in a submission to scaryitches@gmail.com. And we will read them on the episode as well.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Ooh.
Oh, no. I thought I was going to play the...
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Mysterious booms.